What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I'm sorry, I'm a little late. I'm a little 3 minutes late. I'm gonna get right into it. But thank y'all for joining. We're gonna talk about last night's racists nostalgia convention, and we're gonna start off on a happy note. You know, happy birthday to the great 102nd birthday. I gotta put it up on my phone. I gotta put it up on my browser share. Happy 102nd birthday to Miss Robinson, Miss Jackie Robinson's Mr. Jackie Robinson's wife. She turns 102 today, Miss Rachel Robinson. And she's born and raised here in Los Angeles, California. And she made it to 102 years old today. We always got to celebrate greatness, you know what I mean? Because the news always want to make us down. No, the news in society can always put you down, make you feel like things ain't always going good. Things are always bad. It's beauty out here in this world too, y'all. Make no mistake about it. It is beauty. I got sunshine out here. If you can see some sunshine right now, you're living in beauty. So always remember that. Even when we talk about what we're gonna talk about today, politics and all the death, doom, and gloom that's out there, and it's out there. But love and prosperity is out there too. And you have people, and we gotta remind us of that. Miss Rachel Robinson's a 9 of clubs. That means she is the mental wizard, the mental master. If you're born on today, July 19th, you are too a 9 of clubs. And the 9 of clubs is the card of mental wizardry, but it's also the card of the overthinker. If you can avoid overthinking, and if you can use that masterful, powerful mind of yours to be focused on the things that you want out of life, you're going to be dope as fuck. So happy birthday to all people born today, all the 9 of clubs, July 19th, and happy birthday to Miss Rachel Robinson. So let's start off right there. And we got and happy. And what's up to everybody up in the chat room? What's up everybody on Twitter? Everybody on Facebook? Everybody on YouTube? We got Kendall up in here. Y'all know y'all need to hit up Kendall. Hypnosiswithkendall.com. Y'all see where her name is spelled? Just put that all together in one word. Add .com on the end, and that's who you hit up for all of your hypnotherapy needs. She's dope as hell with her hypnotherapy, so I'm gonna need y'all to get that in, especially if you got mental hangups and all that shit. All right. And then we reminder on Sunday, we got my class coming up. If you're on Patreon, you're in. If you're not, you can get it by a one-time purchase for only $10 on DeWanB.com. But we're really gonna get deep into the conspiracy to destroy Black music. We're gonna go in and we're gonna go in fine detail, and this isn't gonna be just one day. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be a full-on series. So Sunday is just the first day. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have a Q&A, and then we're gonna break this down thinly to show you how and why our music sucks in the mainstream today. Doesn't all suck. Why the mainstream sucks. Let's make that very clear. There's a lot of dope ass artists out there. So make sure that you get in on that. So welcome everybody. So we might get into last night's. That's right, Bubba Duck. We love Kendall. She's great at what she does. Don't fuck around. You got a mental hang up. Cause like, dude, look, this quick commercial, and Kendall ain't asked for this. She's probably embarrassed that I'm saying this. But dudes, like, you know, we could be, dog. It'd be like, you be thinking you can get over, like, be certain hang-ups. You be like, okay, I got this. And then 4 years later, you still like, I got this, but you ain't got it yet. And then 2 years after that, you be thinking, I got this, but you ain't got it yet. That's what the hypnotherapy thing is. Because a lot of us is good that, you know, we'll identify our issues. We'll identify our mental hang-ups. We'll identify the areas that we need to improve in our lives or get around, or we'll see it. But it'd be that thing that won't let you, like, yeah, Y'all know how I go? You know what you need to do, but you can't quite get it. That's what I recommend hypnotherapy for, amongst other things like grief and loss. But like we all got that thing that we be like, and for what she charges, that ain't shit compared to taking off the time it takes to try to get around these mental hangups on your own. So remember that, all right? So let's get into it. Racist Nostalgia Convention. Here we go. Oh, we got people that already think they know what I'm going to talk about. Sit back and listen. Have some goddamn patience, all right? Shit. If you follow me, you got to stay around. You got to have some. That's why I support everybody that listens to me, man. Y'all got some goddamn mental stamina. Y'all ain't these slow, dumb motherfuckers. Y'all people who can have a train of thought and listen to us. I appreciate y'all. Well, what's good, everybody? But anyway, so this past week, we've had the Republican/Racist Nostalgia National Convention. And boy, it was entertaining as fuck. I don't know about y'all, but I had a good time this past week watching that. From them calling Amber Rose a rapper to Kid Rock with the worst fucking rap hippie Billy Millie, what the fuck that is. Too short, why you put this nigga on? You mean, to Hulk Hogan coming out? That shit was funny than a motherfucker. Let's start off by saying that. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed myself watching this convention. You had the white folks coming with the ear patches on. Let's see here. It was fun to watch. Let me see here. It was very fun to watch. Let me show you this here. You had white folks coming down there to the convention like this. Did y'all see this? Well, let me go to my other camera. Let me go to this angle. You had white folks coming like this. They had ear patches on. Boy, this was some performative shit today, boy. Like, I like watching the pomp and circumstance that is government. This shit is hilarious. Like, for y'all people who take this stuff serious, don't know what to say to you. But for people like, look at this shit. Look at this. They had ear patches on. These are some aloha motherfuckers right here. Is this the Hawaii contingent right here? They said we going to a hukila and put the patches on their ears. God damn. Shit. You had, let me see here. Let me see if I can find that video. This is my favorite part of the convention. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. Here it is. This is one of my favorite parts of the convention right here. Rudy Giuliani was walking through. Look at this one more time. You dumb fuck. This racist motherfucker right here. Let's see it again. Hey, nah, low-key, he low-key had 2 falls. He low-key fell twice. Like, this dude, look, I'm from LA. Why do I know about the police chief in New York all throughout the 90s? I had to watch TV in the 2000s and the 90s and see this motherfucker basically make excuses for fucking over niggas all the goddamn time. Nigga get fucked up. Giuliani come on TV. Well, and I remember him. He had like a little lick. He kind of talked like this a little bit, and he would come in talking like a fucking idiot, sounded very racist. And then when 9/11 happened, He went around trying to get the sympathy of this motherfucker Giuliani. This dude right here milked 9/11. When 9/11 happened, all you saw was Giuliani and his stupid looking ass face all over the TV, all over the news, talking that all that bullshit jibber jabber. Nah, fuck Giuliani. And he should be in prison. He got found guilty on federal charges. He should be in jail right now. Look, Giuliani, this would have never happened to Giuliani had he been in prison. Boom, boom, boom. No, that was actually 3 falls. Let's go back. Let's count these falls. Let's count them. Fall 1, okay. He tried to catch. That's the first fall. What do y'all give his form on the first part? Okay, on the first part of the fall, you know, this is where he didn't save it. He could have saved it, but you know, he was too far leaning forward, and I don't think he got his hands on the chairs in time. So let's go a little bit further. Fall number 2. There we go. Then he falls on his ass. Okay, no, it was a 2. No, that's third fall right there. Okay, so he fell slow, then he fell a third time, and let's see how long it takes him to get up. Oh, what was that? It was the Holy Ghost, bitch. That's what it was. Let's go one more time. Okay. That was the first stumble. It was the first stumble. He could have caught it. He could have caught it right here, but he didn't. If he was younger, you know, if he didn't have all that racism in his soul, it was the racism. I mean, if he didn't see that racism in your soul gives you extra weight. See, a fat nigga like me, I'm not racist. That's why I'm a fat, nimble nigga. You see me, it's bucket. Don't think. Don't. Every time somebody see me in person, they be looking at me like, God damn, I didn't know you was that. Yeah, nigga. So don't get it twisted. But he ain't that. Fall number 1. Boom. Fall number 2. Fall number 3. Boom. Let's watch this fall through completion one more time. Oh, God, no. Oh, no, what's happening? I blame niggers. It's the niggers. That's what it was. I think a nigger tripped me. Did a nigger lay this carpet? Nope. Mr. Giuliani, you can't use that word around here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go. I got some niggers to arrest. Let's go. I gotta see one. That was my favorite part of the convention right there. That was my favorite part. I could not stand this motherfucker Giuliani. Oh, I couldn't stand this bitch. Look at this idiot in the chat. Don't even know what direction I'm going in. I see you're still on the Democrat plantation. Will you sit your stupid ass down and listen? It's always these fucking idiots that's in the chat. And I ain't talking about my normals and you regular folks. I'm talking about the random idiot that comes in running their goddamn mouth. Don't even know what the fuck direction I'm going in. Sit your stupid ass on down now, you motherfucking clown. Don't ban him, mods. Don't ban him. Let his stupid ass stay around until I get to my point. Fucking idiot. Shut up and listen. Nigga, people like that, what you didn't calm down. God damn. If you had a daddy at home, you would know to chill when a grown man is talking. And listen to the whole goddamn story before you draw a conclusion, you fucking idiot. All right, back to what I'm talking about. So back to Giuliani bitch ass. Never liked him. A racist, sorry son of a bitch. So that was my favorite part of the convention right there. Watching him fall. It was just something special about seeing that. Then you got this. See, here's the thing. When people talk about politics, both sides deal with equal levels of idiots. Nah, Larry, don't get him out of here. Let this stupid motherfucker sit around and have egg on his dumb ass face when he see what direction I'm actually gonna go with it. Fucking dickhead. But back to what I was saying. See, when it comes down to it, both sides, like, create a cult-like figure out of their leader, whether Republican or Democrat. When I be listening to these people talk about one side versus the other side, them fucking idiots don't know it's all the same. Probably like that dumb motherfucker in the chat that kept talking. You know, you play this politics shit down the middle. You're supposed to play this shit like a linebacker plays a screen pass in football. You don't commit to the run. You don't commit to the pass. You sit back and watch the field and watch everybody moving. All right, the guards are pulled. All right, cool. The receiver ran a down and out. The running back's dropping off into a flat. All right, okay. Why are these this guard and this center pulling to the side? See, if you just run and try to shoot the gap in football, that means you're gonna overrun the play. They're gonna score an 80 fucking yard touchdown on you because you didn't watch the whole goddamn play develop. You got to sit back and wait until the ball is thrown or handed off, i.e. a commitment is made for you to make a move. No different in basketball. In basketball, that's what the triangle offense was. That's why the triangle offense worked so magically in basketball. The triangle offense was a read offense where my cuts are determined based on how the defense is playing. If you playing me up high, I'm going to cut, shoot to the basket, shoot the gap. Then maybe there'll be a backdoor lane open. If not, maybe it'll pull the defense to the side to open up floor spacing for the person up top to shoot the shot. Or if you playing me baseline, I'm going to cut high side. It's a read and react offense. And that's sports. As men, we watch so much goddamn sports, but we don't know what the fuck we looking at. Sports is telling you and dictating to you how you should deal with your politics, how you should deal with your life, how you should deal with things like that. Be in the present and wait till a commitment is made before you go flopping out and doing all kind of dumb shit to either party. So when it come down to it, neither of these parties committed shit to us. So I don't know what none of you niggas is up here getting your blood pressure up for over one or the other. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Is that Chris, ma'am? Yeah, Roland wearing a Vote blue like a black woman. Roland Martin ain't shit. That motherfucker, sorry. But appreciate that, Sean. Appreciate the Cash App and the Super Chat. Appreciate that. So this is what we're dealing with here. When you get dealing with these people that's trying to make you commit. So in this, going back to this rally was for the right wingers. This was for the people who believe and who do things generally. Race is what guides them. You know, this is the party of George Wallace when in 1960, when the Dixiecrats flipped and went Republican. This is the party that rallies its base, make no mistake about it, on racist means. Now, with that being said, it's not saying that the Democrats don't do this. The Democrats most definitely do this, but they do their shit in a different way. And they do their shit in a way that most niggas ain't ready for. These MAGA people identify themselves very clearly. What do I mean by they identify themselves very clearly? Let's get into it. What do I mean by that? This is what I mean by that. This person right here was always politically, and he said it in his speech, Hulk Hogan. He was always politically neutral. But when I say that they're, in my point of view, and the reason why I call this the racist nostalgia convention is because of this cat right here in part, along with other things. But Hulk Hogan, my childhood favorite wrestler. I ain't gonna sit here and lie like he wasn't. Hulk Hogan was Man, when in WrestleMania 6, when he lost to the Ultimate Warrior and had to give his belt up, man, me and the homie Raj had a tear in our eye. We was like, man, I like the Ultimate Warrior too. But when it was like, nah, but Hogan lost to the Ultimate Warrior? Like, damn, childhood ain't gonna ever be the same. So I goddamn loved Hulk Hogan when I was a kid. But truth is, this is the racist son of a bitch. And there's a reason why, in my opinion, they had Hulk Hogan. Because remember, Hulk Hogan was somebody that did this recently. He was a late add to the roster. Remember, he was a late addition to the roster. And this is why, in my opinion, I think that in part, along with Hulk Hogan, he is very famous. Hulk Hogan, people like him, he's coming out the bag. Remember I told you I was an 8 of Hearts here? People got to stop hiding who they are. Remember when I told y'all that last year when I did the card reading on this here, the truth about people we even like is going to really ultimately reveal itself? This is Hulk Hogan's latest, I do mean latest, because he's had a few racist incidents. This was just 2 weeks ago. There was a brand ambassador that Hulk Hogan got with, paid, but then when he met her, according to her and her opinion, he dropped her because she black. Appreciate that, Chubby. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to this beautiful content. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. But it is her alleged opinion that Hulk Hogan dropped her because she's black. Let's go back further. Remember this, 2015? People are coming out the bag and they just finally been comfortable enough to say, this is who the fuck I am. Y'all remember when the WWE 9 years ago had to drop Hulk Hogan? Because of that racist language, because of what happened with his daughter? Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Yeah. And the reason why he went on that racist rant, let's not forget why. It's because his daughter was busting it wide open for a real nigga. He went on that rant because her daughter was getting digged down by a nigga. Look at some of the things that he said on the transcript. Hogan was recorded to have said, and I'm going to highlight where I am right here. Look on the screen, please. Hogan was recorded to have said, I mean, I'd rather if she was going to fuck some I'd rather have her marry an 8 foot tall nigger. I'm going to say it. $100 million like a basketball player. I guess we're a little racist. Fucking nigger. And this goes to you athlete niggas out here. This is for y'all. This is for y'all. You don't have to follow Hulk Hogan like that to know, brother. I just follow who's saying crazy shit. And because these white motherfuckers, they be popping off that shit and then it died down. I don't know, maybe just me. I got a nigga radar. Like, I'm still talking about Ryan Garcia. I ain't gonna never let Ryan Garcia forget that. I don't forget. And I have a long memory too. That's nothing. I see that shit and never forget when you fuck with us. Nigga, I remember shit. Goddamn, what was that? Who was that? Was that Charlie Sheen? Charlie Sheen was saying about us, what, about 15 years ago? When he got caught, these motherfuckers, when they get caught drunk, they always got some shit to say about us. The news give it a 3-day cycle, and then it's out of the news story forever. But this is for you athlete niggas out there. When y'all be thinking everything is sweet because you got a white woman. You see how this racist piece of shit thinks? You see how he thinks? Look, I don't, he's telling you right here, I don't fuck with niggas. But if it's a basketball player, at least it's a come up, basically, and I can tolerate it. Y'all better listen to Ice Cube. Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. Mel Gibson, yep, Mark by Smith, Mel Gibson, yeah. They all be having time to fuck with us at some point. So I want y'all to understand, even if you're a Republican, and I'm not saying don't vote for Trump. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. Let me say that again for you niggas that's out there acting all tough and all hard. You think, let me go to full screen and I'm gonna get back to this. I gotta change the music on this. No, not that one, I gotta get some gospel. What the fuck make you think your opinion is significant enough to anybody on these internet streets to give a fuck about? People be coming in talking about who they voting for, why you shouldn't vote for that person. And you be like, I get why you feel, but the passion, nigga, calm down. Your ego's on a 10. Nobody gives a fuck. It's okay to express yourself. But people get way too out of control when it comes to their political opinions, and they're just opinions. We don't run this government. Before I even go deeper into it, let me just say that we don't run shit. They do what the hell they want to do with this government. We just watch the play. And right here, I'm just watching the play. That's what we doing here. We watching this shit play out. This is orchestrated event going on in front of us. And it's a very interesting show. And when Trump is involved, it becomes a very funny show. So stop with all the extra shit thinking your opinion matters. Nobody gives a fuck, especially me. But at the same time, I respect everybody's opinion because everybody's entitled to one. And we can discuss people's opinions in a fun way. But when you come in with all that extra shit, that extra heat, that extra energy over your opinion, shut the fuck up. All right, and that's with love from me. It ain't that serious. All right, we don't. Here in California, we have a state that we vote in things based off propositions. Here in California, we voted in 2008. I think it was Prop 8, one of those. That was the proposition to allow gay marriage. And as liberal as y'all think California is, California said no. So what did they do? 2 years later, 3 years later, they ran it through the fucking Senate and gave it to us anyway. As liberal as you think California is, as accepting immigrants as you think California is, there was a proposition back before I could vote called Prop 187. I think it was Prop 187. Let me make sure. I think it was Prop 187. Yeah, Prop 187, 1994. Yep. I was in middle school when this shit happened. I remember watching this shit, and I got a baptism on how government really worked. And this is what happened. California said, California said, we voted for Prop 187, and that was so if you were illegal in California, you got no education and no medical rights. Like the state wasn't gonna pay for it, and the citizens overwhelmingly voted that in because at the time the state was under a budget crunch. You had the LA riots in '92. You got the San Francisco earthquake in '88, the LA one in '92 and '94, and we were in a budget crunch. And the state said no more paying for illegals. And you know what the state said? We don't like you guys doing that, so we're not going to acknowledge your vote. So I realized real quick when I was 13, we don't run shit, even when we vote for it. So sit your happy ass down when you want to come up in here jumping around acting like a fucking monkey for either one of these political parties. They do what the fuck they want to do, and we just watch. So let's get back into it. They do what the hell they want to do with this government. And if what we want as people matches what they want, then they'll do it. But this is how the government works. And I'm using California as an example because I'm here, because a lot of y'all be around the rest of the country thinking y'all know what the fuck y'all talking about when you see a lot of the shit that happens in government here in California. There's oftentimes a major pushback with what they want and what we want here. It's just that at the end of the day, even when we vote for it, we have no control over this shit. And that's a direct shot at them fucking idiots that think they know how California work. For the rest of y'all, it's nothing but love. So anyway, back to what we're talking about. With them going with this guy, and then another person they went up with was Dana White. Dana White is basically been somebody who's never really been overtly racist. You haven't heard him really say anything overtly racist. But that boy be sniffing around the edges, and he been sniffing around the edges for 10, 15, 20 years. You could put two and two together with this motherfucker. He's that one we all know. And if you ain't Black American and you over here thinking, oh, you just don't know, shut the fuck up. We as Black people, we know when we're around y'all. We just don't always say nothing. Because most of the time when we're around y'all, we can get some money off y'all. So we just be quiet about it because we want to make our money. But we know when we're around one of them. And we suspect, I don't know if he is or not. I don't know. It's not confirmed. It is confirmed that he's a woman beater. This man beat his woman. And y'all notice? This man beat his woman on New Year's Eve last year, and not a peep was mentioned by the right. But here's the kicker. Nor the left. I made sure to watch MSNBC's coverage. And in what I saw, I didn't see anybody on MSNBC bring up Dana White beating up his woman on TV on New Year's Eve. Nobody. Y'all notice how they all got on code for him, the left and the right? If the left was really on your black ass side, niggas, why wouldn't they point this shit out? Y'all notice the left didn't even mention Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan's most recent racist incident as recently as 2 weeks ago? Y'all notice how they love quoting Twitter. They quote Twitter all the goddamn time. They sure didn't go to Twitter when it came. I'm talking about the left wing. I get the right wing. I know the right wing ain't gonna talk about this. They openly racist. But this is for y'all to think the left is any better. Did the left call any of this out? Yeah, Dana White is unapologetically a white man. Yeah, I don't fault him for it. But we know when we around y'all, and they do too. It's just you dumb niggas that like being professional white ass kissers. Y'all be like, not Dana White. The UFC got such and such. First off, The UFC is like the racists. Like when it comes to them racist Mexicans and them racist white folks, that is their sport. UFC is for racist white folks, racist Latinos, and cornball niggas. Tap out, all that bullshit ass tap out clothing. Come on now, that go back to the '90s. And before any of you dumbasses come up in here, all I gotta do is go to a UFC message board to prove it. And go on Twitter anytime somebody wins or loses that's black. Anytime a black person loses a fight, just go. Just go on Twitter. Just go. You ain't gotta listen to me. You ain't gotta listen to me. But if it's a local UFC fight and a black guy is fighting anybody, well, win or lose, just watch. Just watch. And don't listen to me. UFC is for little dick, non-black people who can't wait to see a black person lose. That's what it's for. It's for them. That's why they love watching two men wrestle in tights. I can't fuck with it for that reason. I like a lot of you niggas like that, well, more power to you, but I can't fuck with it. I'm not watching shit where a person can win off something called a rear naked chokehold. What the fuck is that? I don't want to see two men do rear naked nothing. I ain't fucking with no UFC. You got I was watching one of my homeboys. That's one of my childhood friends. We got it apart. One of my best friends. He's from India. You know, we've been tight ever since the 6th grade. You know, he a cop. Came to America when he was 3. That's my dog. But you know, as you get older, you go this way. But we still close. We still cool. We don't kick it like we used to, but we still cool. About 10 years ago, he invited me over to the house. A little longer than like 2011, 12. So, yeah, he invited me over to his house for a UFC fight. And it was nothing but him and all of his cop homeboys. And they saw me walk in like, what the fuck is this? They didn't know that, you know, homie's my flyer on the wall. That's how I be knowing what the fuck is going on in the police department with the racism shit. Anyway, well, used to know. We don't kick it like that no more, but we still close. Anyway, we went to a UFC thing, and everybody in that house sphincter was tight because I was there. I knew them motherfuckers wanted to say some shit, but they couldn't. And then I turned around and I watched. I never really paid attention to UFC. You know, this was I'll tell you what fight this was because it was the only time I ever sat and watched a UFC fight. It was whatever fight that was with Anderson Silva. He kicked somebody. I've been hearing all this shit about Anderson Silva my whole goddamn life. Never really paid attention to the nigga. I would use him on a video game. But he kicked some white boy and like his shin buckled and it flopped like this. His leg just, it was that fight. Does anybody know what fight I'm talking about? I remember now. Anderson Silva. I remember thinking, oh, I've been hearing about this Anderson Silva dude all this time. So anyway, that nigga lost. And I was looking at the gloating look on them police officers' faces when that nigga lost. But in the fight before that, it was some dude lost the fight. And then I lost the fight. They were like, he got him in a grounding pound. And I was like, hold on. What we watching? He got somebody in what? In the fight before that, like, yeah, he jumps on top of him, ground and pound. I'm looking at my boy, what the fuck is we watching? I don't want to watch no shit where they grounded and pounding. These is men. I like boxing because there's some distance. Like, You know, the most you don't get in boxing is a clinch, you know, or Mike Tyson might bite a nigga ear off, but ground and pound? I realized two things that day. I realized two things that day. One, I never fucked with UFC. I'm not gonna start. And two, me and my homeboy, although we still close, we have grown separate ways because I can't kick it with them UFC motherfuckers. Hell no. Nah. Nope. We catch up, but not at no goddamn UFC event. That's not happening. That's where our cultural differences come in. Still got love as friends though. Got me watching a ground and pound and a rear naked chokehold. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. But Dana White is the CEO of neo-Nazi sports. And that's what I call the UFC, neo-Nazi sports. Yeah, boxing is a gentleman's sport. I like combat, don't get me wrong. But there's a certain gentleman essence to boxing. UFC, they be getting on top of each other, nuts all in their goddamn face, hitting the top of the head like this, like Bam Bam from the Flintstones. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Somebody said Dewan. No. He said Dewan too old to be so childish. No, my guy. You're too old to spell my name wrong. It's written. It's literally, look, my name is literally 1, 2, 3, 4 spots on the bottom of the screen. And the person telling me not to be so childish can't find the time to spell it right. Irony's a motherfucker, ain't it? So anyway, let's go back to what we're talking about. So when it comes down to it, this shit right here, when you have Dana White and Hulk Hogan as your features before the headline speech, understand, they know when they set these conventions up, Democrat and Republican, the words are going to go, 99.9% of everything said is going to go in one ear and out the other. 99.9% of what's said. People don't remember what you tell them. People remember how you made them feel and the symbolisms, the images. So what's going to happen is you get Hulk Hogan, 80s nostalgia. Remember I said that shit on last week's video when Trump got shot? I am a real American. You're going to have that hit the subconscious and the mind. You're going to have the image of Dana White. So they're appealing to a certain sector of people. And they're also appealing to the UFC base. Understand this. I'm breaking this down from a totally different perspective than y'all was probably ready for. I want us to see the game being played and to see who they're appealing to. I'm not going into policy yet. I'll get to policy. Because when the Democrats have their convention, we're going to show you how they're appealing to a different class of races. But we got to take things one at a time. The Democrats' convention isn't until August 19th. So we'll break them hoes down in a month. Today, the Republicans are on stage because it's a lot of black people out there. Just because the Republicans are speaking a better message to us, and I will say they are speaking a better message to us than the Democrats, it's a lot of you niggas that still think they're your friend, and they're not. They're not even talking to you. And that's what today's is what we're talking about. Even if you're black and Republican, even if you're black and going to vote Republican, they're still not really talking to you. When you have Dana White, Hulk Hogan, another person they had on. Another thing, this was them talking to black people. When it let me see. Let me show you this. This part right here. This lady right here, Amber Rose. This was their so-called appeal to black people right here. One of them. Her. Come on now. Come on now. Damn, I gotta change to JPG. This damn thing that I use on like certain kind of photos. All right. So this was their appeal to women and black women and voters right here. Mind you, she is, and a lot of people say they're out of touch. They're not out of touch. They're not out of touch at all. They know who they're appealing to. They know that to white people, she's black. This is what they understand. To white people, she is black. To white people, she is black. But remember what she said here. I do not. Remember this. Remember this. Oh my shit! It was no, I wasn't on my bad. My audio went on.
Absolutely not. I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not. I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not.
You hear that? I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not. I see this has better audio.
And is that how you perceive yourself?
I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not.
What do you consider yourself?
Biracial.
And is that how you perceive yourself?
I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not.
What do you consider yourself?
See, so on the Republican side of the game, they know they got a black person that's black enough for white people to think they have a black person. Because let me tell you something, even when it comes to the right-wing, right-leaning Republican, most of them still don't want to feel racist. And contrary to what most black people think, there are only some white people who are comfortable with being openly bigoted and openly racist. Most white people, they're like the Wicked Witch of the East. Calling them racist is like throwing water on them. They'll fucking dissolve. We're dealing with some fragile people. These fragile people do not like to be known as racist. So when they bring black people out, they have to bring black people out because it's going to make everybody in the 80% of the left, the right-leaning white folks feel less or not racist at all. It's going to make them feel less racist. And on top of that, they had her, I can't find the picture. I was looking for the picture. But when she came out, they had her listed as, oh, here it is. I found the picture. They had her listed as a rapper and influencer. She's listed as a rapper and an influencer. That is a code to all of those old ass white people who don't know the fucking differences. They're thinking they have somebody fresh and hip that's on the streets with the black community. And Amber Rose has been somebody that's been a useful tool for both sides. Just a few years ago, she was a useful tool for the left with her slut walk. Just like she was a useful tool for Kanye West. And every other nigga that done boomty bam, boomty wham. And I ain't got no issues with Amber Rose. I'm just pointing out how she is being used. But she is somebody who made it clear with her own words, I am not a black woman. And trust and believe she doesn't feel any differently. She just changed her rhetoric up so she can survive in the industry. So I'm just calling out the players. I'm just calling out the players that we're looking at and the imagery and who they're appealing to. And Amber Rose appeals, she's one of them chicks that all them dudes that watch the UFC that can't get women, I'm sure they jerked off to her a few times. She's a former stripper. So she appeals to them too. The UFC crowd, the white male eunuchs, and the can't get a woman crowd. That the UFC appeals to. One of the biggest things that political parties needs is that one of their biggest concerns, both Democrats and Republicans, is youth outreach. Like Obama was able to get in through mobilizing the youth, according to the play that we're watching. Okay, again, I always remind my people, we're watching a play, but in the play that we're watching called Politics and Government, we got to understand that they need youth outreach. So people like Amber Rose, Hulk Hogan, Dana White, that was youth, white, non-black incel outreach. That's what it is. That is the outreach to the incel delegation. And it's a smart move because nobody's paying attention to the incels. They are don't nobody give a fuck about an incel until they start shooting up conventions and shit. Until then, no one gives a fuck about the incel. So the Republicans are actually doing a very, very, very smart job. I think it's genius. If you're gonna ask me, to appeal to the incel. This is right here. This is captain of the incels right here. This dude, Elon Musk, is now with them, even though Elon Musk is a horrible father. We talk about Nick Cannon. Elon Musk be having babies that he's not taking care of, allegedly. I don't know. He probably giving them money and everything, but they need their father's presence. But apparently he's too busy working for them. So I don't know what's going on with Elon Musk in that situation. But Elon Musk has been the stereotype, having children with women he aren't making honest women out of. That's not responsible from a man that has such a moral stance on things. You know what I mean? Anyway, between Elon Musk and this dude and Joe Rogan's another one. I have the issues with Joe Rogan, but Dana White, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and Hulk Hogan, that is the Mount Rushmore of incels. You feel me? Hulk Hogan, Dana White, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. That's like a Mount Rushmore incels. You got the old incels with Hulk Hogan, all the Generation X incels with Hulk Hogan and older millennials. You got the Gen X and millennial incels with Dana White and Elon Musk. You know what I mean? And also the Zillennial incels because of Elon Musk, because of all the tech, So that's what it comes down to. That shows you who they are going after. They're not going after your black ass, okay? Although I do think the Republicans would be smart to go after black people. They're still playing with us. They're mentioning us, but they're playing with us. They're not serious about it. And any black person that takes them serious, I question how you see things. So, what's up, Hurt? He said, hell yeah. Nigga, that's what they going for right there. But I'm not mad at what the Republicans are doing. And I will say this. Although I'm not going to vote for either party, because I don't give a fuck about neither one of them. I feel that holding my vote is the best move for me to make, because nationally, one is because one of the biggest concerns government has is people's participation in the process. When the people start to withdraw from the process, that's when the government starts to listen to the people. But as long as people are highly engaged in the process, as long as they're following through, it's good to be engaged. You want to be engaged in politics. You want to have your ear to the ground of what's going on. But I don't necessarily have to do what you want me to do either. Just because I'm engaged and listening and following on both sides, I also at the same time, I ain't got to do what you tell me to do. So, that's what this is. That's what we got to understand. What politics is, But with that being said, I will say this. There you go. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong version. That ain't the right version of Hulk Hogan's theme song. Here we go. We got to do it right. I can't let it slide. That's still my shit, though. I love that song. That song brings back childhood nostalgic memories. But now it's fuck Hulk Hogan. But I still fuck with that song. But this here, the Republicans, look, at least at the end of the day, Republicans are not targeting our children. Here in California, Gavin Newsom, a law just passed. That's the reason why Elon Musk is leaving California. That stops parents mandating teachers to tell parents about their child's so-called sex change. California right now is on some real weird shit with that. So at least the Republicans ain't on that weird shit with the kids. I will give them that credit. There are some things that Trump said that I want to get to. Well, let me go into this here. Let's go into some of the stuff that was talked about. This here was pretty goddamn funny. I ain't gonna lie. This convention was really funny. This started with right here.
Let me tell you something, brother.
This dude came out full Hulk Hogan, y'all.
You know something? When I came here tonight, there was so much energy in this room. I felt maybe I was in Madison Square Garden getting ready to win another world title. Or maybe I thought the vibe was so intense, the energy was so crazy, it felt like maybe I was gonna press that no good stinky giant over my head and slam him through the mat, brother.
Y'all see this shit? The motherfucker came out as Hulk Hogan, bringing up memories with his blonde extensions in his head. That motherfucker I guarantee you, Hulk Hogan has a bandana shag wig. I guarantee you that's a bandana shag wig. He ain't got no goddamn hair back there. In the back of the bandana is a low-key George Jefferson shag wig. You know he do. You know that's a shag wig. And this motherfucker came out really as Hulk Hogan. We are living in idiocracy. You remember idiocracy? Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? I don't know if I can play. Y'all remember this on Idiocracy? Let me see if I can speed it up a little bit. I don't want to get a strike. Well, I'm gonna get a strike. I'll just take this part out. So if you see something get deleted, it's because they strike me. They gave me a strike. All right.
IQ than any man alive. And
I remember this?
He's gonna fix everything.
The only thing I didn't like about Idiocracy was that was like the first time they used a black president. Was to show how stupid this country was. I didn't like that imagery at all. But this happened. This was a scene in Idiocracy.
I know shit's bad right now with all that starving bullshit and the dust storms and we running out of French fries and burrito coverings.
Yeah.
But I got
That's where we are right now.
What I found out was I was in a room full of real Americans, brother.
a solution.
That's what you said last time, dipshit. I got a solution. You're a dick. South Carolina, what's up?
That's basically what we see here.
And at the end of the day,
like, now we actually got an idiocracy when Bush 2 was in office, if you're going to tell the whole goddamn truth. Bush 2 was idiocracy if you were paying attention. Bush 2 was an idiocracy. But it really got to this point. This part here to me was funny as fuck. This motherfucker really did it. This nigga fucker really did the Hulk Hogan.
when they took a shot at my hero,
Look, I got back. This part was funny as fuck.
I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero?
Look at how he milked this shit. Look at this shit.
And they tried to kill the next president of the United States.
Can you imagine this shit in 1988 happening for the Michael Dukakis versus goddamn Bush 1 race? Could you imagine somebody doing this for Bush 1 or Michael Dukakis?
Enough was enough. And I said,
Get the shirt
Trump-a-mania
off.
run wild, brother.
Look.
Let Trump-a-mania rule again. Let Trump-a-mania make America great again.
Look at this shit. Trump-a-mania? Did y'all see this? The ear patches. Black people, when they talk about nigga shit, this is nigga shit right here. Like, as crazy as we can be, nigga, they got a wrestler out there. Not a wrestler, a wrestler. To give us a straight up, let's look at this shit again.
And they tried to kill
The white tough guy act.
his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his
And look at black culture on display. He's wearing sneakers, tennis shoes. Always know a cultural indicator of black American influence is people wearing tennis shoes. We started that. We popularized that. Wearing sneakers. We popularized that as the primary shoe that to be worn outside in public in the 80s. Those of us who did wear sneakers all the time, y'all know. Put some hard shoes on. You ain't a real man unless you got some hard shoes. Nah, nigga. And we used to get talked about for wearing sneakers. Now the biggest racists on the earth dress like us, act like us. But anyway.
business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero?
I had to see this again.
And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trump-a-mania run wild, brother.
Shit.
Let Trump-a-mania rule again. Let Trump-a-mania make America great again.
Get it, girl. I hear what you're saying, but yeah, they are on code, but don't give them that much credit. These motherfuckers are under a spell. They're voting for a whole bunch of shit that will not benefit them. Understand this. Hulk Hogan is wealthy. He had a $100 million lawsuit that he got awarded because of that leaked tape of his. On top of his earnings and everything, Dana White is wealthy. This is a billionaires boys club that they're voting for. Yeah, they're on code on race, but they really vote. These people you see clapping are voting against their self-interest. When Trump says these things like getting rid of the EPA, that is against their interests. Like, these people are fucking stupid. They just as dumb as the people on the left that blindly say vote blue no matter who. They just as dumb. But what you're looking at is cultism right here. And that's what you have to do in a country where you're not going to give the people anything. They know they're not going to give the people anything. They know that no side, left or right, is getting shit. So they got to give you pomp and circumstance. And this is just left-wing pomp and circumstance. Next month, we're going to see this is right-wing pomp and circumstance. Next month, we're going to see left-wing pomp and circumstance. But look at this shit right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Look at this shit.
Rock.
Kid Rock. Mind you, Kid Rock was put on by Too Short. When Too Short went to Detroit and saw him rapping. Kid Rock started out as a wigger. And just like we were talking about yesterday with that guy, what's his name? Joe Conzo that did that bullshit with Tariq's film. Just like we were talking about Joe Conzo, how they come around us when they're young and they're cool as fuck, only for them to turn it into some bullshit later on in their life. This guy, Kid Rock, is one of those scumbags. But watch this shit. Watch this fake rap right here.
What up, America?
Let's start off. First he comes out, what up, America? They need us, black people. Look, if you tired of it, just leave my channel right now. This channel is always going to point out the black American influence on anybody. You use our words, you use our vernacular, but you say no to our reparations. Well, shit, the least we gonna do is build some self-esteem up off of your ass. My people suffer from a lack of self-esteem in a lot of ways because we don't know how great we are. We don't know what we've done. So we tend to defer, we tend to deflect, we tend to minimize, we tend to shorten. And between Christianity, the other is religions, and media and education, we minimize ourselves. So this channel here, Dewan B, at Dewan B on YouTube, will be used to any chance I see y'all fucking with our culture, whether you're white, Hispanic, Jamaican, any of that. I'ma point it out. Nah, 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 nah. I'ma point it out. Nah, 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 nah. So first off, he comes out talking about what up, America, speaking in black American vernacular. But let's go.
What up, America? If you're ready for President Trump to take the stage, I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to put a fist up in the air.
Using the black fist, dressed like Run DMC.
Everybody, get a fist up in the air. Now follow me. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight.
Black American call and answer say fight, fight. The call and answer between the audience and what's going on. More black American influence. Yeah, you're right, 225 girl. He started out as a break dancer. Yep. Like Crazy Legs. But look at this right here.
Straight rock and roll.
They coming out sounding like 80s rappers.
With the beaver hats and Ben Davis slacks, 30-pack of stroll, straight rock and roll.
See, white boys can get away with sounding like 80s rappers. This is all this is. This is nothing but 80s rap. But it'll get categorized in rock and roll because he's white or country or some other crossover category. It will not get classified as rap. But that's all it is black American vernacular, black American style of dress, black American music. So I don't want people that we consider that feel that when we use the word tether, because that does not include all people of Caribbean descent. I don't want y'all to feel isolated. Y'all steal from us just like them and everybody else. Y'all ain't the only thieves. Y'all a little sloppy. Y'all able to sneak in a little bit, and we stay quiet about it a little longer because y'all look like us. And as long as y'all didn't say nothing, we wasn't gonna say nothing. But did you think we was gonna stay quiet with you speaking up like this? You ain't the only ones that steal from us. Everybody do. Everybody do. And here's another thing, reason why I use Kid Rock. This here is just from 2 months ago. When we call people suspected racists, it's because they do things and say things. In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, it was said that he used the N-word a lot in the interview. Where's that part? Here we go. Because they always bury it. They always bury it. Let me see. Here it is. The Rolling Stone writer who is black banished a gun. They said that Kid Rock basically banished a gun. Let me see. I'm looking for what he said because they always bury what they said about black people. He's talking about guns. See, they say he dropped the N-word, but I'm looking for the part. See how the media be covering these white boys up? They'll keep telling you, okay, he used, because in the original story, they was telling you what he actually said. Fuck that ad blocker. See, these motherfuckers be covering for these white boys. Let me see here. Let me see. See, they basically repeating the same article. These white boys cover for each other, man. I remember when the shit came out, when the story first dropped a couple months ago, they were saying what he actually said. Well, y'all gonna have to go ahead and find it out. Let me see. Oh, that was that one. That was another racist incident. Well, y'all gonna have to go ahead and find out exactly what he just said. Like always, they scrub white boys' bad behavior away from the internet, and you got to go on a fucking haunt mission to find out what it was they actually said. But that was just the most recent. Kid Rock has been saying a lot of racist shit over the last decade now. He's been saying a lot of shit like that. And that's just the most recent stuff. That's just the most recent shit. But you see who they picked. They picked people with recent bullshit. And then when Trump got on stage, oh my God, it got hilarious. I don't care what y'all say. I low-key want Trump to win just so I can hear this motherfucker tweet and talk every day, dog. This motherfucker's funny.
Music was loudly playing.
Look, this dude milked it. He milked it like a motherfucker. I ain't even mad at him.
For your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually...
Let me tell y'all, man, this motherfucker Trump is an expert when it comes to speech and speaking. He is so goddamn full of shit. This nigga's an act. He like, I'm glad and I'm first off, I'm sorry by saying I'm glad he lived. I don't want to see nobody get their head, they wig split like that. So I'm not on that train. You're not gonna get me on that train saying he wish he got his head. I'm glad the man lived. I don't want to see that. But when he started off real slow.
Most did that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part.
Just pay attention to his tone. It's melancholy. It's sympathetic. It's making you feel his pain. He knows you're wondering what happened with him almost getting shot. So he starts off by drawing them in. Feel my pain.
Yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them.
You're right about that. That's that Three of Diamonds type shit. You're right about that. This motherfucker's an actor for real. Trump is an actor. He's not an actor. He's an actor. Starts off really humble and sounding weak. And oh my God.
And then he's going to do it. And his wife, she said, you can't turn him down. You just can't do it. You have to go. That's a good wife.
He's going around thanking everybody, being very humble about the wife.
So he got on a plane. He got here a little while ago. Now he's going to get on the plane in a little while, and he's going to go back home to his wife. But they're great, and I just want to thank her and him and their whole family, because that's not easy.
He went and hugged.
And Kid Rock, same thing.
Where's that part to when he went and got the police, the firefighter uniform?
And has $250 billion. They made it all over the last 2.5 years. They were broke. I watched.
Oh yeah, this part here. I don't know where that part is where he hugged the thing, but I do want to hear this part. Let y'all listen to this part.
People a year. We're not going to let that happen. An economy the likes of which no nation had ever seen. China.
This next part right here is when he gets into reminding everybody what his presidency was like. And this was actually pretty smart because, you want to remind people of what was going on. And we definitely are having higher gas prices, higher growth. Everything is more expensive in America right now in the last 4 years. And it's not, the way that work has more sort of do with world affairs and world economy and things like that. But in a dirty game of politics, of course you're going to blame the other person. Why not?
Dealing with a very difficult Congress. And I said, that's okay. We won't go to Congress. I call it an invasion. We gave our military almost $800 billion. I said, I'm going to take a little of that money because this is an invasion. And we built, most of the wall is already built. And we built it through using the funds.
Talking about building that wall.
Created, including the horrible war with Russia and Ukraine, which would have never happened if I was president.
He goes in talking about what would have happened if he was president. I like that shit. That should be funny as fuck when they go and talking about what they would have did versus what the next person would have did. But I do got to give Trump credit. We did not. I thought we was going to go to war under Trump. He did do a great job of not sending the country to war. You got to give credit where credit is due. Again, I don't play political sides. You gotta weigh this. And next month, if Joe Biden is the one speaking, I don't know if Joe Biden's going to make it to the DNC. I think the DNC is going to be far more interesting than this because I think some fuddy-duddy shit is going to happen at the DNC, and I seriously doubt Biden is the nominee. I doubt they want Kamala as a nominee, but the only way they can keep that $200 million that they raised is by keeping one of the two on the ticket. So we're going to see how that plays out.
Anything like it. We were beating every country, including China, by leaps and bounds. Nobody had seen anything like it.
I love the way that motherfucker was exaggerating. Yeah, Trump didn't help or hurt black people.
Convention of either party that they've ever seen. Every single one.
There's a part where he said, I'm trying to get to it.
Affordable again. We have to make it affordable. It's not affordable. People can't live like this. Under this administration, our current administration, groceries are up 57%, gasoline is up 60 and 70%, mortgage rates have quadrupled. And the fact is, it doesn't matter what they are because you can't get the money anyway. You can't buy houses. Young people can't get any financing to buy a house. The total household costs have increased an average of $28,000 per family under this administration.
See, right there is where some of the meats and bones of what he's talking about. And I'm be interested to see the Democrats address the housing issue and the inflation issue and what their plan is. See, another thing they do is they generally address what the problems are, but they don't give solutions to the problems. And so, so watching this fool Trump is a play. This dude is hilariously entertaining.
Those plants are going to be built in the United States, and our people are going to man those plants.
I believe Trump when he says that, bringing plants back to America, because when he was in office, he actually did that. He actually did. If you listen, Trump is saying a lot of things. If you listen, I'm not going to go through his whole speech, but if you listen to his speech, he did say some things that Americans can get behind. He did. He did. But overall, the crazy part about it was Trump, in my opinion, was probably the least racist part of the whole convention. And I'm gonna say that. When I heard his speech, he had the least cold word laden, not the least, but he was on the lower tier versus what his future vice president was saying and some of the shit he was saying. And he was less, he didn't spend much time on race, to tell you the truth. It hurts if you don't win, we fuck. Okay. So you see, he talked around it. His party was doing more like having the imagery of Dana White, Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock. That was telling everybody what it is without saying what it is.
He used a word I wouldn't use because I can't use that word. Because you'd say it was braggadocious. The press would say he was a brag.
Well, no. Let me see.
And we had nuclear submarines in Cuba. I will tell you that headlines every day would be, what's wrong with our president? You don't even hear this. You're not hearing about this. Russia has nuclear submarines and warships 60 miles away, Mr. Congressman, from Miami, by the way, happens to be here. Correct? In Cuba. And that would not be stood for if it were somebody else. They don't want to mention it, but now maybe they will. And the entire world, I tell you this, we want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price.
See that right there? I like when politicians do that. Demand something that they have no way of enforcing. It's a way to get these people on the side. The casual political fan is going to sit back and, yeah. He ain't got no way to enforce that. But it sounds good. This dude's a showman.
I'll talk with Franklin, but he was great. We're too little. We settled for too little. We've given everything to other nations.
Let me go to the end.
Together, we will win, win, win.
K-pop line.
Together we will save this country, we will restore the republic, and we will usher in the rich and wonderful tomorrows that our people so truly deserve. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before. And quite simply put, we will very quickly make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wisconsin. God bless you. God bless you, Wisconsin, and God bless the United States of America, our great country. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
So that was, for the most part, the convention. It was a lot going on. You know, it was a rally, had a lot of your racist overtones and undertones. But Trump himself didn't really get in on that. Like, he played it smart. And so, you know, it's interesting. You know, the Republicans did a good job of going for their fan base. They know what their fan base is. But interestingly enough, the president or former president, presidential nominee himself, he didn't really jump in on it. But we all know what it is. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the Democrats next, because the Democrats are pushing for Joe Biden to leave, and Joe Biden's old ass saying, fuck that, I'm staying. So I don't know how this shit's going to work for the Democrats. It's very much possible, very much so possible, that the Democrats can force Joe out at the convention, and the Democrats could actually get 2 new people on the ticket. They can get Kamala and Joe out. But I think that if Joe doesn't quit at the convention, we're going to see some funny stuff to where, you know, I don't know. He might get whoopty-whamp. I don't know. But when it comes to these Republicans and what's going on with the Republican National Convention, this was a big, huge code word to your middle American Ryan Garcia UFC fans alike. Middle America, we know middle America is, but you also got the Ryan Garcia's types, the Alex Jones listening school shooters that they didn't necessarily shoot up a school, but they think like them. That's what this convention was really appealing for and going after. They were going after adult school shooters. That May Durfee, they only lose $2 million if both drop out, if they kick both off. Which $200 million, with the amount of money that's out there, they can get that back. Like, the wealthy is so wealthy right now. Like, Elon Musk has decided to do $45 million a month for Trump. You don't think it's left-wing people who would get together and say, we got 10 wealthy folks to put $20 million in each to cover that? $200 million is a lot of money, but it's not a lot. They spend, these elections now cost $1 billion and more. You know? What's going to be the estimated total cost of this election? And honestly, I think the Democrats are trying to throw this shit, honestly. They're not trying to. They wouldn't mind throwing it. Because I'm not sure if they want to burn Newsom yet. I don't think Newsom can win. And I think Newsom is part of their long-term plans. Let me see here. Estimated costs. Okay. Cost of election. Okay, no, I don't want no goddamn state election. I want a presidential election, motherfucker. You know what I asked for? All right, here we go. Here's an article. They're saying the election ad spending is the top $10 billion this year. So, although the Democrats stand to lose $200 million, they can get that back. That's not a lot of money in their world. It is in our world, but it's not a lot of money in theirs. So it's gonna be some interesting shit going on. And on top of that, when I read Joe Biden's cards, his 7-week spread, that he got a 9 of spades in a 7-week spread. And what that means is a conclusion to a long-standing race. And that spread tells me that it could be him dropping out or it could be him. I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting in his card spread, his 7-week spread. And so I don't know. But either way it goes, cards or no cards, just seeing the way I'm seeing it right now, I think that, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the Democrats are going to do, but I don't know if these two people that we see that are going for office right now, I don't think they're going to be the two people come next month. Yeah, that 9 of spades peak for Joe Biden has me concerned about whether or not he's going to stay in his race. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. If you're in LA, I'm somewhere. I'll be out somewhere. I don't even know where I'm gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna be somewhere out there at some kind of something in Griffith Park. Me and my wife, we be selling our crystals, and I'm gonna be doing in-person card readings at some kind of convention tomorrow. I don't know. I should have came to y'all with that information, but it's gonna be fun. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for listening. If I have time tonight, I'll do a music show. If I have time, I'm not making any promises. But if I have time, I'll do a music show. In the meantime, y'all need to subscribe to the Patreon, because on Sunday, we are going in and we're talking about the what's going on with music and how they stole black music. We break it down, the conspiracy to destroy black music, this Sunday on my Patreon, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Find out who the players are behind and how our music was destroyed and how we can get it back. Understand that this bullshit we listen to in the mainstream right now is not of our choosing. It is forced upon us and thrown in our lap. So join the Patreon or go to thewampi.com/courses and get this one off. And if you like what you see, if you like it, join the Patreon, because this is going to be a series. We ain't doing this. This ain't no one-off. This is going to be finely detailed. All right? I'm about to get up out of here. And I want to thank y'all for listening. And I want y'all to remember this. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. I'm out. Do, 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 do.